ساتوی پسرو وینو دا د شهیدانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور ساتوی پسرو وینو دا د شهیدانو کور دا
Assalamu alaikum, welcome to this hour's news with me, Marian. Today is Monday, 23rd of December 2024. The Saudi Arabian ambassador to Kabul has announced the resumption of the country's embassy in Kabul. He announced embassy expressed that the aim of the resumption of the embassy is to provide better services to Afghans. On the other hand, Zakir Jalali, political director of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, considers the resumption of the Saudi Arabian embassy a better step towards expanding relations between the two countries. The Ministry of Information and Culture says that since the beginning of this year, about 8 million domestic and foreign tourists, more than 7,000 of whom are foreign tourists, have visited the country's historical, archaeological, and recreational sites. The spokesman of the ministry says that they are trying to electronicize the system for providing services to foreign tourists in the country. The Ministry of Information and Culture has announced an increase in domestic and foreign tourists compared to last year and says that since the beginning of this year, about 8 million domestic and foreign tourists have visited various historical and recreational sites in the country. According to the spokesperson of the ministry, more than 7,000 of them were foreign tourists who have come to Afghanistan from different countries of the world. Since the beginning of this year, we have registered more than 7,000 tourists in the Ministry of Information and Culture. These tourists came from various countries including Canada, America, Russia, China, European countries, and Middle East, mostly to visit historical, recreational, and cultural sites in Afghanistan. The spokesperson of the ministry says that after the rule of Islamic Emirate, more facilities have been provided in the field of providing services to foreign tourists in the country, and in order to attract more foreign tourists, they will electronicize the system for providing services to them in the future. In the near future, we're trying to make the tourism industry electronic. I continue to try to provide services at the ports and airports in the way that makes it very easy for people to go through this process and easily visit different parts of Afghanistan. And these services are getting better day by day. A number of foreign tourists who come here to Afghanistan from different countries of the world to visit the country's historical, ancient, cultural, and recreational sites say, "The purpose of my coming to Afghanistan is to visit the provinces of Bamiyan, Kandahar, Herat, Mazar Sharif, and other provinces of Afghanistan. And I urge to other foreign tourists to come to Afghanistan and visit the country. The National Museum is very interesting and excellent and has many works of art. So we want to see more works, including coins and ancient works that are very rare here." Officials from the Ministry of Information and Culture consider the increase in domestic and foreign tourists to the country to be due to the security, convenience, and better services for them. Mullah Abdul Latif Mansour, Minister of Energy and Water, met with a number of religious scholars and tribal elders from Kamdesh district of Nuristan province. In this meeting, the participants called on the leadership of the Ministry of Energy and Water to build water dams, implement electricity, and development projects in the areas. On the other hand, Mullah Abdul Latif Mansour stated that a survey for the construction of a water dam in Kamdesh district has been conducted, and the cost of this project is scheduled to be included in next year's budget. Maulvi Najibullah Hayat Haqqani, Minister of Communications and Information Technology, met with the governor and other local administration officials during the visit to Rizgan province. In this meeting, the governor of Rizgan stated that most districts of the province have currently benefited from communication and telecommunication facilities, and telecommunication networks are expanding in remote areas. On the other hand, the Ministry of Communications and Information Technology, while assuring the local administration officials, noted that the ministry is trying to expand the level of telecommunication coverage in all parts of the country and resolve the problems of the people in this regard. Mullah Nuruddin Tarabi, head of the National Disaster Preparedness and Combating Authority, met with the delegations of the Islamic Welfare Institute and Social Humanitarian Aid Institute and signed memorandum of understanding with them. In this meeting, Mullah Nuruddin Tarabi emphasized the important role of partner institutions in providing assistance to people in need and called on all agencies to increase the level of assistance to deserving people, considering the arrival of the cold season in the country. Sheikh Muhammad Qasim Khaled, the governor of Nimruz, met and discussed with some local administration officials in order to implement the decree of Amir al-Mu'minin Hafazahullah on preventing human trafficking. In his meeting, the governor of Nimrod emphasized the full implementation of this decree, adding that the bad consequences of human trafficking should be shared with the people through mosques and the press. It's worth mentioning that in this meeting, a committee was appointed to inform the public about the harms of human trafficking and cooperate with the provincial administration in preventing this unpleasant phenomenon. The construction of water supply network in the RTA district of Kunduz province has begun at a cost of 7 million Afghanis through the Rural Rehabilitation and Development Department of that province. According to local administration officials, with the completion of this project, 300 local families will have access to healthy drinking water. The sixth round of polio vaccination campaign began today, Monday, in 11 provinces of the country. According to the Ministry of Public Health, in this 3-day campaign, about 4.8 million children under the age of 5 will be vaccinated and receive vaccine. Since the beginning of the process of transferring nearly 110 kilowatts of electricity in 4 lots from the Kajaki Dam power plant, at a cost of which is paid by the Afghanistan Electricity Company to the provinces of Lashkar Gah and Kandahar, in order to solve the problems of the residents of the aforementioned provinces with the presence of participating companies. According to the Afghanistan Electricity Company, this measure has not only resulted in the complete control of the electricity generated in Kajaki Dam, but also had provided basic needs of electricity customers in the fields of industry, trade, and lighting their homes. 2 tons of expired and substandard food and medicine were set on fire in the presence of delegation from the Tahar Public Health Department in that province. According to the Tahar Public Health Department, these expired and substandard materials included various types of medicines, beverages, and food, which has been collected from the pharmacies and grocery stores in Talqan City in the past 3 months. The National Disaster Preparedness Administration, with the support of partner institutions, has begun the process of distributing cash assistance to more than 500 needy affected families and heirs of martyrs and of natural disaster in the Tahar and Badakhshan provinces. According to local administration officials, the recipients of this assistance, while praising the activities of the local officials, called on other relief organizations to increase their level of assistance in affected areas. A total of 700 young members of the Ministry of National Defense received their graduation certificates after completing a round of professional military and ideological training at the 207th Al Farouk Army Corps Training Center. According to the Ministry of National Defense, at the ceremony, officials asked the graduates to pass their training to other members. The Disaster Preparedness Directorate of Kabul Province, in cooperation with the international organization GNI, distributed food and non-food assistance to more than 200 families affected by natural disasters in the province. In another initiative, the Disaster Preparedness Directorate of the Kandahar Province, in coordination with the Department of Mothers and Civil Affairs of that province, distributed food and non-food assistance to more than 100 families of mothers and civil people in Spinboldak, Jeri, and Khakuri district of that province. This was all for tonight. Thank you for watching.
شهیدانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور ساتوي پسرو وینو دا د شهیدانو کور دا